What's up, everyone? How y'all doing? My name is Antione Taylor, and I'm welcoming you to the Cause International's first channel. We're excited about this. We've been around for a couple of years now. You know, it's a little bit different. I like to be low-key, but what we're doing needs to be known around the world. So just to basically break down like what the Cause International is and like who we are and what we do, I just want to give you the background information of the cause and tell you about what we got going on here. And then throughout the entire process of us chasing our dreams and our different goals, we're gonna be documenting it and just dropping it like once a week so you guys can see the progression of what we're doing, and you know, you can see us change the world day by day. Man, before the Cause International, it's just so crazy to even see like the progression of where we're at today because of really where we started. Like I said, my name is Antione. I'm from the Valley, moved around a lot of different places. How it started was because obviously I went to school in Minnesota at St. John's University where I played football, and I also was a natural science pre-med major. That was crazy.
Bruh.
During college I had like 6 tutors, and y'all think I'm capping. I'm really not. I promise you. I had 6 tutors, and at the time I felt kind of embarrassed, but I also realized, hey, you know, if you need this to get through, if you need this to progress in whatever you're doing, hey man, you got to do this. So when I was in college and I was trying to balance everything, I knew like, dang man, like I'm studying, I'm working hard at night, but let's say if I want to have fun and take out a girl or hang with the boys, I had no money on campus. I started washing people's clothes for money, and I laugh at it now, but at the time I was extremely embarrassed. I mean, I was embarrassed because I'm scoring touchdowns on Saturdays, you're cheering for me, making posters for me, but then on Sundays, I'm knocking on your door to wash your clothes. Even though I was embarrassed, I feel like it was another key point of my progression with the cause. Going to door, asking people, even though they knew me, like, you know, I played football, like I said, so they knew me on campus already. And, you know, football players, I think, have a stigma on campus, but I was breaking it, you know? So, like I said, very humbling experience. But what I can say was that was one of the best things that happened for me, because one, it allowed me to work on my people skills. When I was knocking on doors, it helped my confidence. It made me realize I can talk to anyone. And the worst thing that someone can say is no. And you're in the same position that you've always been in. I was getting money, and that's always amazing in college. 2, I realized there were so many people that did not want to wash their clothes or didn't even know how to wash their clothes.
Oh no.
And 3, it was great because it allowed me to focus on school and really just key in, because all I was thinking about was football, school, and getting money. I remember when I knew it was my breaking point. I came home from I had an amazing game. I came home from on the road. I was in Wisconsin, and I got back to campus. When I got to my dorm, there was like 10 loads waiting outside my door, and I was like, I need to switch it up. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do next. What can I do that's never been done before on campus? So I started thinking like, man, maybe I should sell clothes. And if you know me, I don't have the most fashion sense. Even me thinking about this idea, I was like, there's no way you're gonna succeed in something that you're not even that good at. So, but you know me, I like a challenge. So I started thinking like, okay, maybe I should sell some shirts, or maybe I should sell some hoodies. But then I started thinking like, everybody does that. You know, in our school store, they had all those things. What's something that college kids can't pay for, because you know we're all on a budget, and it has never been done before? And I thought socks. I thought socks because like, 1, it's cheap. 2, they can't get it nowhere else. And 3, why not? I started selling socks, and one of my good friends, his name is Carl Kanai, and his dad, obviously iconic legend, Kanai Clothing, Carl Kanai Sr. Did stuff with Biggie, did stuff with Tupac. And I remember talking to Carl, and he's just such a genuine guy. He said, if you need anything, just let me know. So I was thinking like, all right, like Carl's my best shot. So Carl answered the phone, and I was like, hey man, like I'm starting up my own company, and I want to do socks. I know your dad's in the industry. Does he have any contacts? And you gotta think, I'm from Minnesota, calling to LA, and I haven't spoken to Carl probably for like 2 years now. Obviously, we caught up, listened to me, and he was like, yeah, of course, I asked my dad. Carl did not have to even ask his dad. You know, there's different people that say, oh, I'm gonna do something, but never end up doing it, and you're just waiting like, all right, like, has it happened? And you're like, man, should I give him a call? Hopefully he says yes, and hopefully he does what he said. And sure enough, you know, Carl pulled through for me. I think that day he sent me a contact, and it was Silky Socks. So I call them the next day. I'm like, hey, my name's Antoine. I was connected by Carl Kanai. And they're like, oh, okay, of course, I know Carl. I told them, like, I want to make a sample for socks. They were like, oh, okay, like, what do you want? And I said, like, I just want to order one pair that says Johnny's. That's what our school mascot was. It was just in words. It said Johnny's. They're like, you just want one pair? And I was like, yeah, is that a problem? It's not a problem, but like, it's gonna cost you like $55 because you're not ordering in bulk. And in my head, I was like, $55? Bruh. That's more than some Vans. You know, like, I'm just thinking, like, socks cost the same as shoes. I'm not about to pay $55 for socks. What can I do because I think it's a good idea. So I would start doing this. Like, I got a mock-up, like a digital mock-up. And I started going door to door selling the digital mock-up. So check this out. I didn't have no inventory on me. Kids can't feel the socks. And they're just literally trusting me. They're paying up front to deliver them. And I told them, like, the socks won't be here for 2 to 3 weeks. What really caught my eye about this whole thing was how simple it was. Because I think that's the whole thing about God. Like, I think God puts you in different situations for you to grow. So when you get ready for that next level, it makes everything so easy for you. I understood why I had to wash clothes. Because when I started selling socks, they were just coming in. In 1 week, I sold 500 pairs of socks. And I was able to make $4,000. Money. So I never made that amount of money in my entire life. And at that time, I thought I was rich. Like, I thought I was like, yo, I just made so much money. People believe in me. People are like, bro, did you get the socks from Antoine? Like, the Johnny socks, did you get those socks? People DMing me, I don't know, like, hey, bro, are you still selling the socks? This is crazy. So then I called back Danny. And I'm like, hey, Danny, I need 512 socks. You what? Just a minute ago, I was calling him for a sample. Now he needs 512. He started asking, like, wait, do you have your own store? It felt like I was, like, one of the top producers. And it was only my first weekend. And he was like, oh, my God, so crazy. He gave me a good price. Shout out to Danny, literally the birth of my company. Thank you, Carl Kanai. Thank you, Danny from Silky Socks. I appreciate you both. I've never been pushed like this ever in my life. But I also have never quit anything as well. And I think just being in that position of me, like, constantly grinding, constantly going, constantly figuring out, you know, what are these next steps, and, you know, not backing away from the challenge, but actually rising to it. It allowed me to do my first step with the cause. So I'm talking to my best friends on campus, trying to figure out where we should get back to, where should we go. And my brother, J.O., former president of the Cause International, John Oliver, says, bro, why don't we drive to Southside Chicago and give back to the Boys and Girls Club that I was raised in? And immediate answer was, J.O., that's literally the #1 murder city in the nation. Oh no. How are we gonna get from Minnesota to Chicago? And where are we gonna stay at in Southside Chicago? And he was like, bro, we're gonna figure it out. Like, let's start planning, let's start thinking. But that's how if you wanna make an impact, you need to go where the people need you the most. So St. John's literally rented a bus to us. And we were able to drive from, and y'all gotta think, this is like, it's December. It's like -10 in Minnesota right now, snowing. And we're driving from Minnesota to Southside Chicago. It's just like, when you're looking back at it, I thought in the moment that was so regular. Like, oh yeah, we're just driving. Bruh. None of us has ever drove a bus before. 2, it's snowing. I'm from LA. This is like my first or second time seeing snow. And 3, we have to drive 7 hours to Chicago. And that's what we did. And when we got to Chicago, I'll never forget it, because these words literally made me start the cause, like, in depth. Because right now we're not the cause. We're just like a couple of friends bonding together, giving back. And we just got done selling socks. Our Chicago give back was a defining moment for the Cause International, especially for myself, because I was able to realize, like, this is what I want to be doing for the rest of my life. Just being able to go back to one of our brothers, places that literally raised him into the person that he is today, and just showing the history of Chicago. And you got to think too, at this time, Southside Chicago is the #1 murder city in the nation. But when we're in there, you just see so much love. You just see the future of our youth, and you get excited. You get excited because you know you're making a difference, especially in a place that needs your help. We impacted them so much, but wholeheartedly, in the bird's eye view looking at it, they impacted us. What we are doing is needed, and we can't just stop here. And I remember the specific moment that really changed my life. And I talk about it all the time because it was around Christmas time. So we wanted every kid to walk home or to walk out of it with their own Christmas gift. We gave them like TVs, we gave them bikes, we gave them Barbies, school supplies, bags, like anything you name it, we were giving it back to. And it felt so great to be able to do that with the money that we made. And we had like 150 kids there. I really wish I got that girl's name, because she rushed up to me, gave me a hug, and said, "Thank you, Antoine, for giving me my first Christmas." Even though the media says like, oh, Chicago's the #1 murder city in the nation, and especially in this year, none of that matters when you come in with pure hearts and God's behind you. When you come in on a mission to change the world, change lives, you're gonna be protected. You're able to see the beauty in any opposition. So after Chicago, coming back to Minnesota, just thinking about it, we gotta change the world, man. I was so hyped and so happy, and the joy in me was just so amazing. Like anything bad that happened, I was like, oh, it's okay. We gonna get through. I was able to carry that into business. And you gotta think, like, I don't know what I'm doing in business. I'm pre-med, I'm natural science. I know nothing about business. All I know is to shoot my shot, and if it goes in, it works. If it breaks, guess what? We're shooting
another one.
We're figuring it out, because why stop? Like, God showed me something. He was talking to me. He was like, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. So you can go do this, you can go do that, you can go do whatever you want to do, but I'm telling you what you need to do. What I can honestly say and be so grateful for is that God gave me my purpose. And I'm so grateful because in the world that we live in today, it's so hard to find your purpose because none of the outside opposing forces matter. From Chicago, we went to Detroit, then we went to Flint, Michigan, then we went to Skid Row in Los Angeles. In Guatemala, it made me realize the bigger picture. It made me realize, okay, like in Chicago, Detroit, Skid Row, you did give back, Antoine, like you did make a difference. But what did you change? I was able to see, like, when you give back, you need to figure out how to stop a problem. What are you solving? And when I went to Guatemala, we installed water filters. These kids didn't have clean water. Like now with these water filters, they're gonna be good for 6 years. But even Guatemala made me realize you didn't solve the problem. Because in 6 years, they back to that. And I was able to realize that through our former co-founder, Abdi. Because after a give back, I'm hyped. I'm like, yo, we just changed a community. Like, we just grinded to get all this money to make a difference, to impact. And Abdi, what I loved about him, he was just so calm. Like, he was like, no, we did a great job, but like, we didn't solve a problem. But when we give back, we need to make sure they never have to go through this again. Like, what do you mean? We just went to Guatemala and we installed water filters. But in 6 years, they need more water filters. Again, take that pride aside and listen. Why did you start? That little girl in Chicago inspired you to make a difference, change the world. You might be impacting for the day, but you're not changing it. He's right. So I was like, all right, we gotta think bigger. And through this whole time, we not knowing what we're doing, we're just trying everything to make it work. That's when we're like, okay, like, we need to make sure that when we install water filtration system, that community will never have to worry about water again. And that's how we were able to go to Kenya and install a water filtration system for an entire village. So thousands of individuals will have running water forever. And Kenya changed my life. It made me realize everybody goes through things. You may want to be here, you may want to be there, you may want to look like this, you may want to be this tall, you may want to feel this good, you may want to work this job. But at the end of the day, you have to be grateful for what you do have. In Kenya, when I was walking around, like I'm talking about, like we seeing kids walk barefoot. We're seeing 6-year-old kids smoking jet fuel for drugs because they want to escape the hunger because they have no food. We're seeing kids live in huts. We're seeing kids having fun praying to God. It made me realize like my day-to-day of like all things that I say that I want, that I wish that I had, that I'm going through so much hardships. But then you get to Kenya, I realize like, dang, like I got it made. I live in America, the land where you can be anything and everything. But when you see other people living in a third world country, like, dang, like, it could be way worse. It's not to undermine what we have to go through in America because everybody has their own feelings. If anybody knows me, they know I talk a lot. In Kenya, I had to talk when I needed to talk. All these kids just not having water. They're talking about they have to wait for it to rain. They cry when it rains because they know that they're gonna have water. We gotta wait for the weather in order for me to drink. I'll never forget my brother Abdi. I used to always complain about different things in college. Just in general, he's like, Twan, like, it's okay, bro. I understand you going through it, but it's okay. He told me a story. He was like, I used to have to wait in line for water. I used to have to walk 2 miles to get a big jug of water so we can have it for my family. The line would be so long that we'll have to keep interchanging people throughout the line to just hold our place. After completing Kenya, finally be able to say like I changed the world. It got me hungry. It got me thinking bigger. You can do so much more if you speak up, if you go on camera and talk about the different things. That's why we're doing this YouTube channel, because I know you guys are hearing it and feeling it and just like realizing like, dang, this man and his team, like not just me, my entire team, we changing the world. We're changing the world daily, and we need more help. We need more people to know about what we're doing, because I know you want to give back. I know you want to make a difference. I know you want people around the world to have running water. You know what I mean? I know you want to help high school kids in LA, or not even just LA, just high school kids in the nation, figure out their next steps, what they're going to transition to life. I know you want to give back, and that's exactly what our company does. I haven't stopped since. I haven't stopped chasing since. I don't care what anyone says. I'm coming in to wherever and I'm impacting it. Nobody's going to stop me from doing what God told me to do.